I'm still leaning towards Sundowns for the same reasons I've given, but I think Wednesday for me. I don't think it's a title decider, but I think if Pirates beat Sundowns
They're 9
on
points.
Wednesday,
9 points ahead. Dance has a game.
I think we seriously have to reconsider the whole Sundowns winning the league thing.
Yeah.
If they lose
to Pirates.
On Wednesday.
Sure.
But to take that game at FNB when this was the season to close them off. Now the only thing is now you've made that game neutral.
Yeah.
They've made that game neutral.
It's basically neutral.
It's a neutral fixture now. Because Mamelodi Sundowns at FNB is a weapon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the State of Football, where the game meets opinion, memory, and insight. Bulandi Pelo, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, arbuing. Everything Orlando Pirates. Mighty Buccaneers, they fly. I mean, since the last time they've played like a few games, and actually, I think last we were here, they drew 2-2 Les Kukune, and we were criticizing the lineup because the coach who gambler league marfed. Other than that, before we get into that, I want us to get into the games that they've played, right? Number one, Badletse Magesi at the new arena, Amstel Arena.
Barki Arena, ne?
Barki Arena.
That's nice. That's nice.
It's very nice. I mean, full house, good vibes, 2-0, professional. Darling of South African football, Rele scores. Also, great. Next game, by Amabida. Kotebene. Bajlale AmaZulu. Same scoreline, 2-0. Darling of South African football again on the score sheet. Great. Then Badlala Nedbank Cup, Tshakhuma, 4-1, professional. They did what they had to do there. And then from then on, Valentine's Day, Betway Gallants. 3-0, Darling of South African football scores. And I think the coach said something very interesting before the Gallants game about Rele playing as a 10 being his best position,
For sure.
360 view instead of 180 view and all of those types of things. So I want us to just pack this in, discuss how we see Orlando Pirates and whether Kwatile Rele or Dinsa.
Yeah, no.
Special, Joe. Like, we've mentioned a few names here. I think he's on his way.
That's what Rele in fact. He's not actually chicken le or cutting onions. He roasted chicken. Evana ma potato wedge. If did you some nandi le Antoine. Nickname le Antoine bekumela ngabe bayibiza juice mfethu. But did you some nandi. Did you some nandi mfethu. Le Antoine le yana mfethu. And I've said this, they've asked me so many times what I think about Rele and what I think about his best position. And I've always mentioned that I feel like the best position for Rele is the 360 view, which is the number 10.
Yes.
Because I believe that he's a player that has two qualities in him, or he's got two best qualities. Number one, he's got his best quality, in my opinion. Said this so many times. I think it's important maybe for this audience. It's the best quality of Rele, in my opinion, is that he plays off the ball. I think that his third man runs are second to none, in my opinion. And to be able to eliminate the opponent or defense near run is a special quality to have, because if in South African football we don't have number 10s that can play off the ball, you look at the ones that we always praise. We spoke about Mshishi in the previous episode. He probably also doesn't have that ability, because Yonki Ntoka Mshishi must come closer to feet. You must play closer to him, 5 meter. Distances must be closer so that he chop Rele can do that. He can dribble to eliminate. He can play off the ball. He scores goals left and right. He probably is the most dangerous player when he's playing closer to the box. Upeti basket lama fruits. Eli pipeline. He's got a thing pass. He's got a chip. He's got a first touch with opposite, with outside, with inside. He can finish in step. He can finish lace. The only quality I want from him is when he's on the left-hand side, which Apolis has, is that he receives with his left. Because I don't want him to have an extra touch with his, because every time I can receive on left with his outside foot, he takes it and then he takes another touch. I want him to receive with his left, already open body, pick that spot. If he can add that quality, because even if you look at the profile and the identity of the Betway Premiership, we don't have a lot of players that score free kicks outside the box. We don't have players that receive on the opposite side, inverted, and then bang the balls outside the box using the defender as an angle. You don't find goals that are exceptional in terms of outside the box. The type of finishes that we do in the Betway Premiership is quite very basic finishes, one-touch finishes, which are very difficult when they come from an angle as well. But I think for him to play at the global stage, there's certain qualities and certain finishes that he has to have in his locker.
Yeah.
In terms of the ability to unlock and the variety of passes. That's something that even in Europe they can't teach him.
Yeah.
But what they can teach him is the finishing styles. I want to see him receive with his left and go far post with his left foot. Those are the kind of finishes that, because if Rele doesn't become world class, sizohlala la ngelinye ilanga si-regret that we never got this boy to be world class.
Yeah.
And positive criticism is important. Two qualities off the ball in terms of aggressive to press, that Coach Ouaddou can improve. But in terms of the quality, in terms of variation of finishes, I think he's deadly if he's more of an Apolis, receives the ball lateral with a deep run in the box, receive with his left, far post. You know that finish.
Yeah.
We are all taught that finish. Not all the time receive with your left and then want to cut in and take an extra touch. I think he can score more goals.
Yeah.
I think that outside the box finishes, I think he can score a lot of goals if he can.
He's got the technique.
He can trust himself to take shots outside the box. In terms of the first touch from yesterday, the first touch for Relebohile, the ability in the box. And I think the boy, unfortunately enough, I had the privilege to go to a Durban last week. So I was at that AmaZulu game.
Yeah.
I think he played exceptionally well. I think another player for me at Pirates who's impressed me ever since that Skukune game is Uketlen Makaula. I think Ukesh has been really good.
Exceptional.
I think after that injury,
No, Cash is back.
Because we thought losing Nduli would be a blow, but I think
Cash is
Cash,
back.
we have to give him credit, man. Especially considering his age, the fact that he came back from a long injury.
Cash.
He's been exceptional. Cash. Cash.
And this is the thing about Ukesh. We were saying, sideways passing. I think there's a lot of progressive passes in his game now.
Yeah.
I think his passes are also aggressive and very intentional. And because there's sometimes you guys boni player el dlali pass because licheli or force pass. I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
I think it's intentional, and you can see that he's trying to break lines. He's trying to affect the game even from deep.
Yeah.
I think he understands that, because also iron's sharpen iron. If you look at the assist of the season, the first assist of the season is Showdown. Apolis in the 3-0 result against Polokwane City, Orlando Stadium, MTN 8 in the first half. First 11 minutes of the game, Unduli baya combine na Nombule, Unduli keep a defense splitting pass. For Apolis, you know what it does? Doesn't take a touch. He opens his body, will pass in it in And we said this is the control that Pirates needs. That's the variation.
Yes.
We always speak about that.
Yes.
In midfield, sometimes
different factors. Yeah.
Ukesh is going to have to do the 8 role at some point.
For sure.
He has to. He understands that now at Pirates. But under Roger, he had only the responsibility to
shield.
Be the
to
six.
shield, and then be the initial progressor.
Give a platform.
Give a platform, be initial progressor, and allow the others to continue with the game and the creativity. But now he's entering a stage where he understands that before the creative process, he's the first line for that. And for Orlando Pirates to create, he's very important in the creative process. So he's more of umtopatis kia. Tito can dance. Because he likes getting into areas where he can dance. Rele can come into that at number 10, coming from wide, where they're hiding him from the left hand side because they don't want to give him the responsibility to defend that larger space. It's better when he has the responsibility to follow the run of the fullback, or make sure that he press in the half of the opponent. So that's not a bigger job. He just needs the energy and the capacity to do it. But when you check Orlando Pirates, its performances, Apolis looks game on the right hand side. I think he can come a little bit to the party.
Is it just me or Apolis they take turns? It's
I think it's very difficult for them to see the game from the right hand side. I think they are struggling to see clearer pictures from the right hand side, from a creative department perspective. From a tactical, I think they have that. I think from creation, I think there's a certain angle they can't see when they have the ball. Because also football is about decision making, and it's about quick decisions that you need to make. I think the picture is not clearer, because what Apolis has when he's on the right hand side, I can even see the picture. When he receives the ball on the left hand side, he sees the number 8 from this angle. He can see Unemta Jela coming. He sees the movement of Umahopa or Umbutuma from this angle, coming from the left hand side. On the right hand side, when he comes from this angle, the angle of the body needs to change. He needs to literally turn his body to see Umnemta Jela. Unless Umnemta Jela is a little bit in front of him, then he can combine for that pass. But he doesn't also have the pace to combine from that angle. He's got the pace to combine from this angle where the defender can come here and he combines there rather than combining there and having to run there. So that picture is a little bit difficult. Sometimes the striker, he sees him there rather than seeing him from this angle here where you can connect there, go there, or connect to come here. So those are the pictures that are a little bit difficult, because when you are left-footed, and I want to connect from this angle, I can connect with an outside foot pass. I don't have to open my foot with my I can connect with an outside foot pass. So those pictures are, it's with time, if he plays a season there, it'll get better. But I think it's
probably more comfortable on the left.
Yeah.
That's what you,
for sure.
And just a final question for you guys on this Rele as a 10, for both of you guys, and it's not my opinion, it's just a question, right? How would you respond to the idea that maybe in the bigger games, playing Rele as a 10 may not be the best option, because maybe you are playing, for argument's sake, you're playing a Sundowns. Maybe they've got a Tebza, they've got a Jaden, maybe even a Nuno, bigger boys, stronger, maybe playing a Rele there takes away a bit of bite, a bit of physicality that, Mbule would give you if you played him as a 10 or playing with 2 8s. It's not my opinion, but I'm just asking
it's
because
something that's out there.
I can see that becoming, how would you guys respond to that? You don't think it's a thing, or?
That's also a conversation we had for AFCON.
Even
Remember?
for AFCON,
That's a conversation we had for AFCON. But that's something that Pep mentioned about Rele now, right? Because sometimes we get so fixated about the bigger games and we become negative in terms of how we are approaching the actual game, right? And what I think is that when you have a Rele on the game, like what the old adage of, if you have the ball and you're attacking, you're better off than when you are trying to think more pragmatic and more defensively minded. What Rele gives you is that he gives you space, he understands space, and he's dangerous. If you are in a bigger game and you have a higher potential of scoring a goal, I feel like that's better than you trying to be physical in the middle of the park and defending the game. So if you're asking me between Rele and Mbule, who do I play as a 10 in the Sundowns game?
Rele.
I play Rele as a 10 in the Sundowns game. He's got momentum. He's got some form. He's got some confidence right now. I play Rele in that 10. And I think even Rele, or sometimes, there's these things, Aubrey can't defend, this and this one can't do this and this one can't do. He understands how he needs to defend and fall back within the shape of the team in terms of that. Because it's not just about physical, because that's not how the game is going to pretty much progress. So what are we doing?
Okay.
Do you know who was the second best player on the pitch? Do you know who was the second best player on the pitch in that Orlando Pirates creative department attack, offensive line? Tito Maswanganyi. I think that Tito Maswanganyi is another player that nobody's talking about him. I think he's been exceptional. I think yesterday was.
I think most of us have written him off, and maybe we've been unfair. If I speak for myself, I rate Tito highly, but I think the last 6 months or so I've sort of been like it's really more kind of.
And there's also a lot of negativity. Around whether he wants to be, and this is just people just talking because we don't even know what's going on in the dressing room. It's just people just picking up on body language. After he got substituted yesterday, he went straight to the tunnel and then it was brought back, and it's alleged that somebody had to go fetch him to come back. So it's those types of things. So I don't know what's going on. But do you think, Lindo, now that you're speaking about it, right? Because now I want us to progress into something else.
I think like Tito has struggles from maybe something that I struggle with maybe sometimes as well. And it's the it's not even an attitude thing. I think he also comes across as this as well. As when you are silent, people think you are angry.
Or you don't care, maybe.
Yeah, when you talk, you are rude, or you come across as arrogant, or I think maybe he's in that thin line where I think there's a certain cloud over him. Because it's definitely not the football talent. It's definitely not the skill and the performances, because I think that in these 5 games, I think in these 5 games, he's been so solid for Orlando Pirates in terms of even yesterday's game. I think when he scored, I could see that he was celebrating Nomahopa, you could see it's very even difficult to smile. You can see a smile that is hard,
Right.
Yeah, man. And I'm born facially, but let me be honest with you, with his performances, I think he's been exceptional. I think that and this is just a lesson to even football players. It has nothing to do with talent, because whatever Tito is going through is not talent. I just think Mpoza sometimes we need to learn how to be docile. And I think the other example is Robert Marawa, where I had the opportunity to have this conversation with Val Matibe, who was a director at CBL, and we said sometimes the challenge with some of us is, more especially talent, is not knowing when to be docile. And it's okay to have a big character and to be confident in yourself and to believe in yourself. But there's situations and there's moments in our career and in our lives where, more especially because we live with people, and there's our bosses don't play football. Our bosses don't kick the ball, and they see and they've got a different perception to life. And sometimes as talent, you always see life based on the talent, not the fact that there's people that need to make administration decisions, they need to make strategic decisions. And at big football clubs like Orlando Pirates, those decisions are being made. And I think sometimes you sulk. Sometimes you come to work with a negative attitude. You come to work with you are short tempered. Awufuna ukutshelwa. Sometimes that can affect your environment and the people that are around you. Sometimes you might be a good human being. You might be a talented footballer. You might be a talented person. But the attitude sometimes and the people sometimes around you don't like the energy that you bring towards the certain, and I just
docile. I'm thinking, if my 10-year-old nephew are Uncle Linda, what does docile mean? Like,
but I think like
yeah, no, I get, I just
some stuff like that. And sometimes I just feel like that's another quality that some of our South African football players have, that yes, be arrogant, be confident in your performances, but also have the ability of knowing your place, more especially in a team setting. And I think Utito might be struggling from, and he might look back 10 years, 5 years later, if he loses this spot at Orlando Pirates, because so many people want that spot.
Of course.
He might look back playing for his Kukuna United and think to himself, I could have been less emotional. With less emotions, you play better. Players like Tito are not like Jaden. There's certain players that in Kumbuza and we win when you're less emotional. And I think that Tito needs to come down with the emotions. Maybe he needs a psychologist who can speak to him to say, boy, Pega Mamel, don't be a person, ngati, if you are not the center of everything, isn't as vibrant. You don't always have to be the center of everything. Isn't as vibrant. There's people that think that because they are not the main character, isn't as vibrant. One, isn't as vibrant with or without you.
For sure.
Okay, let's do this now, because we've spoken about it, and I think we're going to come back to that in a little bit, because there's a big game coming up, right?
Yeah.
But before we talk about the big game, you look at Pirates in the last 4 games or so, they scored 11, conceded 1. So do we still have the same thoughts about the title? Or do you want to talk about the big game first and then we can talk about the thoughts on the title?
I think...
But you've said a lot about this. I mean, in
your opinion, who's winning the league?
You said Downs is winning the league.
No, he said Pirates is winning the league.
Nope.
No.
Sundowns.
I
said Pirates is going to run them close.
Okay.
But
I said at some point, Table Sundowns it'll kick and they're going to hit.
Yeah, I remember the years.
Yeah,
3, 4.
So where I am now, ne?
Yeah.
After, since I made my prediction, Sundowns going to win the league. Honestly, I'm not going to change my mind just yet.
Okay, cool.
But let me say this. If Pirates beat Sundowns Wednesday, and they come out there and they're dominant and they beat Sundowns and they send a message, I'm going to come out and I'm going to say, prediction Pirates will win the league. So I'm still leaning towards Sundowns for the same reasons I've given. But I think Wednesday for me, I don't think it's a title decider.
Yeah.
But I think if Pirates beat Sundowns
they're 9
on
points.
Wednesday,
9 points ahead. Downs has a game.
I think we seriously have to reconsider the whole Sundowns winning the league thing. If they lose
to Pirates
on Wednesday.
Sharp. Now,
Scalabala Chiefs, but we'll get there.
We'll get
Scalabala
there.
Chiefs,
100%. Now, let's get into that game Wednesday. Ne?
Yeah.
Build up to game Wednesday. Again, Pirates in Amstel Arena, no. A whole arena. They've been talking about this arena thing.
Yeah.
And then Manga game Sundowns, which is probably the most important game of the league right now, to date.
Yeah.
Right now.
Biggest game on, the derby, but in terms of actual,
They take away the home ground advantage by FNB go ground on Chiefs. Wait, I don't get it. Maybe Luna, maybe you guys understand it better. I don't understand. Is it commercial reasons? Like, what are they doing?
It has to be. I mean, I don't know. And, I never like to speculate, but it has to be commercial.
Ah, come on,
But
Mpoza.
It has to be
doesn't winning the
commercial,
league
dog.
outweigh the
Wait.
commercials?
Wait.
Commercial in the sense that they are thinking the interest.
Wait, Mpoza.
eh,
Mpoza.
Yeah.
We come on. It's commercial for sure.
Mhm.
But Pirates cannot be making commercial decisions
Not
in
now.
a season where they're
Legacy,
expected to
bro.
win the league.
Because
For
right,
me,
right now you take Sundowns. If you're a Pirate right now,
Says Scotty,
you
boy.
take Sundowns over Isa Scotini.
Owakala goes good.
Wabakiela da, wabapresa da. Like it's a no-brainer. That's a dope one.
Mpoza, it's obviously commercial. But for me, this is my frustration, bro. Like, this is really frustrating me because this is the only season when Orlando Pirates were supposed to win the league.
Yeah.
And this might be a hindrance. I already spoke about the 6 points, which we'll touch
Yeah.
base on, which is very critical in the Orlando Pirates season. For me, we are not naive. We are football people. We know that FNB accommodates parking. We know that FNB accommodates capacity. We know that FNB benefits everyone, not only just securities. Abu mama bathengisayo lapha ngaphandle.
For sure.
We get it. We get also the bigger responsibility, which has to do with safety. I'm a football coach. Any coach who's got into that level, you understand about the stadium and safety measures that need to be taken in such a big game. It's a Wednesday game. Abantu bachaya song of 5. For people to make it from 5 to 7:30 to that game. And I'm hoping they can postpone that game. It's on 8. So
Yeah.
give us people who are coming up from work on 5 o'clock to make our way to the
With the
stadium.
traffic and everything, yeah.
But to take that game at FNB when this was the season to close them off. Now the only thing is now you've made that game neutral.
Yeah.
They've made that game neutral.
It's basically neutral.
It's a neutral fixture now. Because Mamelodi Sundowns at FNB is a weapon. And I did say that might be the turning point of the season. Because Mamelodi Sundowns might cause an upset at FNB. No matter what how on form Orlando Pirates is. But Orlando Pirates players, currently, some of those players, Yombutumas, Yondaba, I was watching them yesterday. Some of those players haven't played matches of consequence, a lot of games that matter. And on Wednesday, they're going to play a game that doesn't only need tactics, technical, psychological, but they're playing a game that it's a league decider. Some of those Mamelodi Sundowns players have.
But what if I say,
experience.
to be fair, they've won a few cup finals and those big games?
Cup final and a league
Or
decider.
you think there's levels to this?
There's levels to this thing. Rubaboni ko AFCON again. There's a
Ah,
difference.
hey,
Anyone
hey,
can-
hey, Lindo, man.
Anyone can win. Anyone can win a cup in this country.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Orlando Pirates. I don't want this to sound as if Ngati, I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
I always praise them. I think
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that listen to me know that. But I am saying this is a different ball game.
Yeah.
It's a totally different ball game because we are coming up against a team that's going to say to you, hey, hello, if you're going to want to win the league, come and take it.
They have to snatch it from Sun.
They have to.
This is, and for me, they can't. You know what? I feel like in the first leg,
Mhm.
they let Sundowns off the hook.
Should have beaten
Because it does not help
Should have
to keep
beaten
saying this is not the same Sundowns.
Yeah.
No, punish them. Remember
Beat them.
that chance at Siema when you went?
Yeah.
This is now they're getting a second bite at the cherry. Pirates have to come out for me. They must show us now. What about it? Into a situation,
Keshab, let's do this.
Mhm.
Fade. Everything into consideration, right?
Mhm.
Let's go into pre-game tactics in terms of both teams, right? How do we see, and I'm going to allow either of you to have a bite at the cherry, but
Mhm.
only on one team. And then you can have a comment and so forth in the interest of time. Sharp. Lindo, Otlongela Downs, ne, in terms of how do you think Mamelodi Sundowns should approach this game in
I
terms
think
of
give
lineup?
me Pirates because I think I
Unale bias
want-
problem, ne?
No, I want to analyze based on how I think they could win the game because I don't see them winning the
Fine.
game. Yeah,
I mean, Mpo is comfortable.
King.
So Lindo will do Pirates
Yeah.
in terms of how he thinks Pirates
So
should
he's taking my team.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
Okay.
taking your team.
Okay.
Because I did it like that because I know
Yeah.
their allegiances, so it's fine.
Okay.
Lindo will do Pirates and you'll do Downs.
he
ne?
loves Sundowns.
I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with you. How do you think tactically as a Downs, FNB in Tuana Batla win a league? Retsa Joan, Tuan. You don't have to give me the full picture, but just briefly, what do you think?
I wouldn't change much from what happened. From,
Alj.
yeah. Same back four for me.
Mm.
I think give the Grant and Ndamani, give it time to grow. I see a great partnership there.
Okay.
I see
Cupido?
I see a
Is-
title winning partnership.
Cupido sharp ulemetse sharp.
For now, let's
Yeah,
let's
or-
leave
I
it.
spoke to him yesterday. Actually, he's
Who's this?
Cupido.
Oh yeah.
He's injured a little bit.
Oh, is it- is
Should
he
be fine,
injured?
should
Yeah.
be back, yeah.
I think with Sundowns, the biggest question, of course, will be what do you do in midfield?
Yes.
Because I mean, Allende came on and he reminded us what Kenamang. You cannot drop Jaden. That will be you can't drop Jaden right now. So oof, this is tough.
Tough.
You can't drop Sales right now. Do you know what?
Same
I say-
lineup.
I say go with the same lineup.
Same. No changes. Brian Leon, everything.
Same, and leave the. Yo, Nuno Santos is not suspended
Yeah.
this time. Yeah.
Nuno Santos ushebile lena.
This is tricky, Joe.
Yeah, no, Muti, he's responsible to unlock.
He's responsible.
He's the
to
one who's
unlock.
going to unlock.
But based on his last game, I was even wondering if maybe we overrated him too soon. But I don't think so.
But here's the thing: if you bring Nuno in, it means that you take Sales to the left or you drop him to the bench. To the right, I mean.
Okay,
or you drop him to the bench.
let me just end this because you're gonna go on for
Yeah.
it. The two untouchables right now, Debza, Jaden.
Okay, cool.
Those untouchables, right? In the midfield. By two, basta attacking.
Ready?
I think Leon coming from the brace that he scored,
Mhm.
you leave Leon up front. Yeah? I still like the natural width. I'll leave Tapelo there.
Tapelo. Okay,
I'll
cool.
still leave Tapelo. I leave Sales.
Mhm.
I drop Matthews for Santos.
So Udlala Santos is Udlala more of a diamond type of situation going on.
Yeah, something like that. Because I've seen Santos also has a tendency sometimes of coming in from the left edge.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They've done it before with him, even
would-
coming in from the
I would-
right
I would-
sometimes.
I would bring him back, and I've still got a Matthews to come off the bench. I've still got an Allende. I still have an Mshishi. I still have a Shalulile to come on. Yeah, I'd Allende. Yeah,
Pisto,
I'd go for that.
over to you, my brother.
Yeah, to be honest with you, how Orlando Pirates starts is important for me, more especially the first 15 minutes. I would break the game into 15 minutes, more especially in the first half. I think how they approach those games, the first 45 minutes, critical. The first 15 minutes, a lot of pressure. Don't allow Mamelodi Sundowns to be comfortable in their build-up processes. Make sure that you congest the space. Make sure that you play on the second ball. Make it uncomfortable. Force them to stretch the game. And then the second 15 minutes, close the game a little bit, allow them to have the ball, see what they want. They're trying to do, lessen the confidence by giving them the ball, allowing them to have the ball, the penetrative passes that they're looking for. Secondly, how you end the game in the first half is with dominance of position. You exhaust them by moving them around, having them work for the ball, which is also a difficult ask. But I'm thinking of the game in my head right now, which is something that might not happen. But I'm thinking of a tactical possibility because I'm worried that in football you can't close everywhere. You need to sacrifice something. And I think the left-hand side, I take Mamelodi Sundowns, is something that I can sacrifice with at Orlando Pirates. I would rather play Ukamu. I don't know if he's injured. Ukamu Shibelebele as a right back to give me the volume, but also the pace and the threat to run behind.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think he's also got the ability to in between the boxes. With Usiema, there's the space there where I can say I'm vulnerable. But trust that Usiema can have a 9 out of 10 game. On the left-hand side, I would opt for Pepe Mina, but it doesn't have the sharpness.
So before you continue, I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
Same lineup. It's Santos Wilkins. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If that's going to influence your thinking.
All right, yeah.
I've been thinking same lineup. Yeah,
Because me,
Matthews
I'm thinking Kamu for offensively and defensive responsibilities. I think I did explain. I'm not comfortable with the left-hand side as well. Center back, Usbisi, even though he's the captain, I would opt for Pepe, but there's no sharpness, Dago Pepe. So obviously you would opt for sharpness and fitness.
So Sbisi comes in.
I would bring in the experience with Diono Hoto, ask him to be a little bit, play as a supportive fullback rather than an initiative fullback. And then you bring in Mokefeni Makaul, plays a crucial role in that Mamelodi Sundowns because there's some battles they have to win in that battle. You bring in a fighter, a person who has the ability to want to fight on the pitch as well, Umbata. Because Umbata, if you want to play the passing game, is there. If you want to play the fighting game, is there. If you want to play the running game, is there. So you play Umbata into that space. Nemta Chela, I think I can use him on the bench if maybe I want to swap him and Umbata. I bring in Tito. I play with 3 number 10s. Because I've got Ukam who's going to give me width.
Against
Sundowns.
Against the Sundowns that we saw.
I'm playing with 3 number 10s. I feel like this reminds me of Cameroon, that first 22 minutes. I felt like we could have hurt Cameroon.
Makaule Cash is starting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cash
is starting.
Mbata.
Mbata.
Cash
Mbata.
Mbata
Okay.
with 3 number 10s.
Oh, now I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With 3 number 10s.
Okay, no.
I felt like
Cash
Cameroon
Mbata.
week. Yeah,
Okay.
3 number 10s.
Ke man le kana?
It's on the
Police.
left hand side. It's Rele Mofokeng, Tito Maswanganyi, Police on the right hand side. And Tito,
That's aggressive, eh?
and if you look at the combination, got Tito no Rele is all. You know, they're on form. The chemistry is there. I felt like we could have hurt Cameroon if you were watching that first 22 minutes of
Easily.
that game.
We could.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you play Police no Rele the same way you played them against Ilentuza, and having Utito to support the 2 number 10 to become a 3rd number 10. Utito can also help you to progress the ball from deep if you want to control and if you want to progress with the ball through the lines. Right? Tito can help you to progress through the lines. Umbata can give you the volume to stretch them and compress the space. Umakaula can give you existence in midfield. He's there. Existence in midfield. Tito gives you the ability to drive, to run through the lines and to play in the thirds. Urile can also combine in the thirds with Ulentuza. He's got the ability of running behind the defense. Ulentuza, Apolis has a different quality that these number 10s don't have.
Yeah.
And it's a deep pass. It's a defense splitting pass. It's a variation in terms of the passes and the kinds of finishes he has in the box. And then you go with Makgopa, the ever performing number 9 in every big games. He always seems to give you a performance. I'm looking at that structure, so Orlando Pirates, and I'm thinking to myself, they have to sacrifice something on the right hand side, but that might be their biggest weapon. And their biggest weapon might be having someone who's a willing runner playing closer to Apolis on this side. Apolis njalo maga inverte is the right hand side. You must know that there's pace coming here. Mela uzongo mode. Avule nje ibhola feed. You know, because sometimes you feel that the run from Udino is support, not initiative. And Uhoto gives them that. He gives them the you feel that Uhoto every time when he's on the left hand side, you feel like he's a winger with what Opre was providing. And I feel that maybe Apolis needs that decoy on the right hand side to help him to say it. Mangai pass abe selfish angene box in a combination pass na Makgopa, then take a shot for himself if he doesn't want to play that pass.
So Muremi half each other.
Muremi, I like him on the left hand side, and I have to play Rele, and I can't sacrifice Rele.
For sure.
I need Muremi. Second half, I bring Rele more as a number 10.
Muremi can run.
Muremi can run on the left hand side. Tito, maybe, I need another creative brain. Maybe I need more of a central number 10 that can progress. Maybe that plays as a 9, not as a 8. Then Rele is a number 10 that you can say play closer to Makgopa. I don't need you to go there, Umbata, to go and help him. Then for Umbata, you bring in Nomtajela. Nomtajela can progress and bring the ball closer to Rele, who doesn't have that responsibility to,
With that,
Zakala Wednesday.
Kupa prediction, boy. What do you think? Fela Jwangi.
My Betway slip is gonna have 2. Kutrosha Ilaya. Draw. Or Pirates win. So 2-2. High scoring draw or Pirates wins the game 2-1.
So with that prediction, I'm gonna ask you this question again. If it's a draw, it's a Pirates win. How do you see Sundowns win in this league?
That's why I said if I'm correct in
this prediction,
if it's a draw, I'd say Sundowns will still win the league.
Okay.
But if Pirates get that win,
Pep.
Yeah, I think if Orlando Pirates does what I just said, I think I might see something. But to be honest, I did tell Mpoza yesterday that.
What are you dance?
Nah, I don't see Pirates winning.
Guys, I didn't say ke fever ya ko stadium.
No, it's
Like,
not even
maybe
that.
stadium no new.
I just think I think Pirates they play with a certain level of intensity, certain level of tempo, which is exciting. But I think quality-wise, I think sometimes you have to see it. Sometimes.
Yeah. I hear what Lindo is saying, and like I understand Pirates in the quality, and they're doing really well.
Yeah, they're flying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, guys, I'm telling you, if that version Jaden pitches go FNB and
Marcelo
honestly, the Marcelo who came on and people always say, Ronaldo treat that overrate that down. Guys, like if that version Allende, Tebza, he loves the big games. Tebza steps it up a bit. I don't think he should be
Aubrey.
playing here.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Aubrey.
remember when Sundowns were getting attacked on the right, and then he got receive.
Yeah, save,
And then he just
with
won
a
the ball.
crowd.
If Sundowns click and they play the way,
Mhm.
obviously you could be talking a different story. But now I'm just going based on what I've seen over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Betting slip, either a high scoring 2-all draw or 2-1
But,
Pirates.
I think Uka message to the betting companies there. But,
Mm.
And
but guys, something.
I don't see a clean sheet. I don't see a clean sheet.
I think Pirates has been defended in the 5 games. They've only
Guys,
conceded one
they've
goal.
conceded 1 goal. They've scored 11. Sundowns are actually conceding, eh?
Yeah.
Pirates have been exceptional defensively. This is the
Yes.
title-winning defense.
This
right?
is the best defense in the league currently as we speak.
But I think if Sundowns play, if they take their performance here, Alger, and they step it up, I'm telling you now, that Pirates defense, they're gonna have to answer questions that they've not
I
been
mean,
asked this whole season.
Front money that day if you can have less mistakes.
The questions they're gonna be asked will be different, and I see them conceding at least 1 goal.
Okay.
I think Sundowns will win 2-1.
Sundowns win 2-1. You say
Pirates-
Pirates win.
Pirates
Or
2-1
draw.
or 2-2. But fine, let me not stop sitting on the fence. Pirates 2-1.
Sundowns 2-1, Pirates 2-1.
Sundowns
You
2-1.
you heard it first here, ladies and gents. I think this is the potential swayer in terms of where the league goes. I mean, if Pirates wins and they go 9 points clear, obviously Downs will still have the game in hand. It's going to be very difficult to pull them back, especially with the confidence that it's going to give Pirates.
Yep.
Right? So, hey, Arbonne and gents, it's sold out, right?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of.
Not
But
that I know.
hopefully, it's a Wednesday game, so but also sold out also means the tickets that were available.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Mm.
The
It might not be
allocation.
90, but it might be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
50. So yeah, it might
Yeah.
be sold out.
No,
And
no
we're
stress.
still trying to squeeze our way in there. We'll see. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we've been making the stadium, by the way.
Yeah.
been-
It will be dope to go to the stadium for
Yeah.
this one. But yeah,
Fully.
it's gonna be a cracker. Yo,
110%. Boys, I think on Pirates, I don't want to go too much because there's other things that we need to talk about that are beyond this, but that involve them. So I don't know if there's anything. Last words, Barakeng, word of the day, Limnat.
Yeah, man. Mina, I think I don't want to be stretched, but I just want to say that this game Pirates has to win on Wednesday because they've got the elephant in the room, which is the 2 derbies. I think with what Kaizer Chiefs has been able to do this season, might be a hindrance in what Orlando Pirates might achieve this season because those 2 derbies will set the tone in what Orlando Pirates will achieve. Because I tell you this season, I do feel something in me that Kaizer Chiefs will win one of those games.
Okay.
And that
That's a big that's a
It
big thing. if they
changes
do.
a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah,
It changes everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then for now, I'll just say, before a ball was kicked, we said this is Pirates' best chance ever to win the league. And all I'll say is,
It's there. Go take it.
You are a title-winning team. Yes, you've been brilliant this season. On a Wednesday,
In-game.
it's about cometh the hour, cometh the man.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man.
For me, it's time for Pirates to show us. what
Because the
they-
thing about it is,
Let's-
you're a big boxing fan, right?
big boxing fan.
If you're not the champion and you're the challenger, you need to go take
Yes.
it.
If
Go take it.
if you are sitting there with Lennox Lewis when Usigu's held the title, you have to go and snatch it from him.
Yes.
And for me, if Pirates don't go and snatch this thing from Sundowns on Wednesday, it's your call.
Sekusele kancane. Kana- kana-
Sekusele kancane sizophumelela.
Awu, yebo. Thank you, boys. Until the next installment of the State of Football, do the right thing. Like, comment, subscribe. You think we're talking nonsense? Come, let's engage.
Man, that's the water, man. Eish.
Kwata wolo lona, man.